Good evening. An MP says the company which operates a block of flats for pensioners is a disgrace. The group of elderly people have been stuck in their apartments for 6 weeks because the building's lift has broken down. And it's emerged that this isn't the first time the operations firm has had the same problem, as Robert Murphy now reports.
Today, the politicians got involved. Charlotte Leslie visited the pensioners to hear what it's like to be stranded in a home because of a broken lift. These upper floor residents can walk down the stairs, but they're worried about less mobile friends who are stuck in their flats.
She's sinking into a depression a lot of days because she is so used to getting out. And I'm also afraid that when she can go out, she's going to find it very difficult walking.
She walks backwards. She can't walk the proper way.
Down the stairs?
Down the stairs, yes.
That sounds very risky, treacherous.
It is, yes, I should think it is.
There was a broken lift in Keith Tamblin's block of flats in Melksham in Wiltshire. Again, it was Peveril Retirement. Again, Schindler lifts. Again, a long wait for a part to repair the machine. Mr. Tamblin could get up and down the stairs, but his wife, who has Parkinson's disease and osteoporosis, couldn't leave her room for 3 weeks.
We suffered, and some people suffered more than I did. Especially when you have appointments, you can't go. There's people who wanted to go to the dentist, couldn't go to the dentist. Wanted to go and see a doctor, couldn't go down because they can't use the stairs.
Back at Ferndown Grange in Bristol, thoughts are turning to what can be done.
I'm sure if this happened in the Chief Executive's house, a lift would have been made to fix in a fraction of the time. So I'm afraid the excuses just don't wash. I've seen a lot of bad things in politics, but the way that these elderly residents have been almost bullied, I think, by an organisation makes me really sick.
Peveril Retirement wasn't speaking on camera with the media today. The lift may be fixed soon, but trust in them may take a lot longer. Robert Murphy, ITV News.
An accident closed part of the M5 motorway during the rush hour this morning. A lorry went through the central reservation and overturned southbound between Portishead and Clevedon. Fuel and debris was left on the northbound carriageway. The driver was taken to hospital with head injuries. Police are hunting an armed robber who held up a security guard to steal cash at a petrol station in Somerset. It happened in just a few seconds at the convenience store at the petrol station in Ilminster. The masked man made off with an accomplice in a stolen getaway car. The white Ford Fiesta was found abandoned half a mile away near Dillington House. A report has revealed that the region's farmers lost more than a penny on every litre of milk produced last year. Last month, Farmers for Action held a protest over their prices at a distribution depot near Bridgwater. And at the dairy show at Shepton Mallet today, farmers say they may be forced to stage further blockades. David Woodland has more.
Producing milk, you'd think it would be simple. Take a pregnant cow, feed it grass, milk it, sell it. Job done. But it's a lot more complicated than that. The arguments over milk prices have been going on for decades.
The cost of feed and the cost of the fuel and everything else, it's just not high enough at all, so it needs to go up by another at least 2 to 3p.
According to one analyst, milk costs a shade over 38 pence per litre to produce, an increase of 3.69 pence this year. But the milk price, what the farmer gets, has increased by just 0.6 pence. And that's led to an average loss of just over a penny per litre. But the future might not all be bleak. Today, another producer signed to join a huge UK-European co-op that's selling to China and Africa.
Well, we hope that the impact it's going to have on milk prices in Britain is to improve them. That's the whole reason farmers want to be part of the co-op, to get a better return. And why we believe we'll get a better return is because consumers, not just in China, but in the Middle East and Africa, want dairy products and want to pay more money for it.
Protests were held by Farmers for Action at the Robert Wiseman depot at Bridgwater last month. The Action Group today issued a further warning of tractor blockades to both the supermarkets and the processors.
We're coming up to Christmas. That's a prime time for the FFA to get into action, and if we see that there's any problem that processors are not having money handed down from this extremely high market, we'll be right outside the door.
The future was on display here in the form of an automatic milking machine. Cows walk in to be milked when they feel like it. But while the future is clear, The old pricing problems of the past still wait to be solved. David Woodland, ITV News, Shepton Mallet.
Princess Anne has been in Somerset, where she's spearheading a horse charity's new rehoming campaign. And while she was there, she offered a new home to one of the animals. The Princess Royal is already president of World Horse Welfare. The charity says the country is in the middle of a horse crisis, with hundreds of animals neglected or abandoned, with owners unable to pay for them. Princess Anne offered to adopt a horse called Annie.
Perfect for me. She's 14. She's not wanting to be too ambitious, and I don't want to be very ambitious. And we've got the scope here. She would be a really useful nanny. I've got young stock here. Fits in really well.
Now it's time to have a look at the weather forecast with Alex.
Hello, you'll definitely want to keep your body handy over the next couple of days. Low pressure is never going to be too far away. A number of weather fronts expected to come through, and also some fairly heavy rain, particularly tomorrow afternoon. There is some good news. It'll be better by Friday and over the weekend. Now, this has been the situation today. Some fairly heavy pulses of rain coming in from the west. As we go through the overnight period and through much of the day tomorrow, we're going to see an extensive band of rain sweeping eastwards across all parts. For this, the Met Office have issued a weather warning, so watch out for surface spray and perhaps some localised flooding in places. As for the rain out there at the moment, some of it is on the heavy side, quite intermittent, but it will all become more organised during the early hours. Temperatures not doing too badly in built areas. We're looking at lows of around 15 or 16 degrees Celsius, so a fairly muggy night and a mild start tomorrow morning, but also a fairly changeable one. It'll be drier across northeastern parts of the region, so I'm talking Wiltshire and Gloucestershire, but as we go through to the afternoon, we'll see that band of rain literally taking over all parts of the region, sweeping eastwards, heavy, possibly on the thundery side as well. Despite this, temperatures not doing too badly, up to around 18 degrees Celsius, so just slightly above average for this time of year. A similar situation on Friday with temperatures, but it does get better. We'll see some bright spells, particularly over the weekend, and temperatures staying at around 18 or 17 degrees.
And that is all from the late team. There is, of course, plenty more news from our region on our website. From all of us here, though, have a good evening. Good night.